Hello everyone, my name is Hemu, and in this particular lecture we are going to discuss how we can basically build the lab in your EVE-NG. So far we have completed these things here, like from 1 to 10 all these topics I have completed. Now in this particular session we will see how we can build the Palo Alto lab. Let's suppose you want to practice Palo Alto, right? Then how we can able to build the Palo Alto lab in EVE-NG? How we can build the checkpoint firewall lab in EVE-NG? How we can build the router lab in EVE-NG? How we can build the switching lab in EVE-NG, right? How we can build the SD-WAN lab in EVE-NG, right? So all these type of things we are going to see. Okay, so now without wasting time, let me start with how we can build the Palo Alto lab for in your EVE-NG. So to build that lab, what I will try to build this type of lab here. What I will try to build this type of lab. There I have my Palo Alto firewall, I have my inside network, my DMZ, my outside, then management, all these, right? Now let's try to do that. So for that, I will start my EVE-NG, already done. I have logged into my EVE-NG. And let me just close from here, right? Let me just delete from here and I'll do everything from scratch, right? So let's suppose, let me go here, let me just delete this as well. Okay, I want to do everything from scratch. Let's suppose when you will log in your event, you will get this particular window in first times, right? So what I will always recommend, you can create the folder. Let's suppose you want to build the Palo Alto lab, so create a folder with the name of Palo Alto labs. Click on add. Now go inside this folder, and now what you will see, this icon, add new lab. I will click on this one, add new lab, and I'll give the name here like Palo Alto demo lab. This is my demo lab on Palo Alto firewall. Click on save. Once you will build, you will go here. Now here I can basically add my node. What I'll add the very first node, which is Palo Alto. Let's suppose I want to use Palo Alto 10. I'll give the name Palo Alto Firewall 01. This is my first firewall, and I will give a RAM here around. I'll give the RAM which is 8192. 8192. I need around 8 interfaces, so I'll just put here 8 interfaces. All these settings I will leave default, guys. I'll add one more firewall. Let's suppose you want to add a like high availability type of lab, so you can add one more firewall. Give the name to this firewall like Palo Alto Firewall 02. 8192, around 8 interfaces. So basically we have added two firewalls here, right? Firewall 1 and firewall 2. Now what I'll do, now I'll add layer 3 switches. I'll give the name here VIOS, and I will use this layer 3 switch here. I'll give the name inside switch 1, or let me just put the name like inside core switch 1. CR means core. This is my core switch. Okay, if you want more interfaces, you can define more interfaces, but I just need 8, so I'll just go with 8. This is my inside core switch. Meanwhile, let me just put my Palo Alto here. It's become sticky sometimes, so in that case what you have to do, you can refresh always, and refresh will fix that issue, right? So I'll just put my inside switch here. Now I'll add one more switch here, and I'll give the name to this switch VIOS DMZ core switch, and this is my switch number 2. Okay, or you can also put like this, make some space here, make some space here, like this. Okay, totally depends on you how you want to do that. And after that, what, I am not going to define any access layer switches and all. I am just now defining my PC. I'll just add here Windows PC. I'll give the name here test PC 01. And for the icon, I always use this icon. This is my test PC which I'm having on my inside network. Okay. Now I'll add one more here. And now guys, what I want to add, couple of Linux machine, and what I will use here, tiny core Linux machine. And this tiny core Linux machine I will use as a web server. But guys, you know, this tiny core Linux machine will take around 2048, around 2 GB of RAM. So better what I will do for DMZ, because you know, you just want to facilitate the HTTP services, telnet services, like SSH services. We can use them as a like server. So what I'll highly recommend, you can use these small routers, this iOS routers, and put the name like DMZ server 0. And let's suppose I want to add here 3 routers. So I just put 3. And this particular image icon I will change, and I will just replace with this web server. These are my web servers, because they are just taking around 256 MB of RAM. That's how we can basically reduce the resources. If you want more interfaces in your routers, you can basically choose these options, or you can choose 16 interface option as well. We have a slots here. These are the servers now, and these are my 3 DMZ servers. You can put like this. Okay, you can rename them. DMZ server 1, added DMZ server 2. This is how we can basically rename them, and DMZ server 3. Right, now what I will do, I'll go here and I'll just put here routers as well, VIOS. This is my virtual router, and I'll give the name to this router like R1 is router. I'll add one more router, VIOS. I'll give here the name which is R2 is router, right? These are my 2 routers, and these routers are available over the internet. Okay, now what I will do, because you know, all these particular devices, right, I have added all of them, right? Now what I will do, I'll add couple of network here. Okay, you can see this network there, right? I will just go with bridge. Okay, and I'll just give the name inside switch. Sometime what used to happen, either we have to connect the interfaces here, right, or we can also do in this way. If you don't want to put this thing, what you can do, like these are the routers, right? So what, at least you have to put one switch here, at least use this bridge one switch 01, and I need it switch 01 and switch 02. I'll just connect one switch with one router, another switch with another router. Now why I need to do that? Because now I'll go here and I'll just connect my PaloAlto firewall Ethernet 1x1 interface with this switch. Same interface I will connect from this particular firewall Ethernet 1x1 with this switch, and this switch I will connect with this R1 router. Now I'll just connect the another interface which is Ethernet 1x2 with this switch too. Here also with switch 2 Ethernet 1x2 from both the five, and I will connect this with this particular router. Like this. Now go here, let me go here. Now what I will do, I'll connect Ethernet 1x3 switch directly with this core switch 1. And this firewall also Ethernet 1x3 I will connect with this core switch. Then Ethernet 1x4 I will connect with this particular switch, TMZ switch, core switch 2. And after that, what I'll do, I'll connect my PC with this core switch directly. In production environment, generally you have couple of access layer switches here, and behind these access layer switches, your test PC will be available. And now I'll connect my servers as well, one by one. So guys, this is how you will see this plug. We can use this plug for connecting. Done. So this is how we have to basically do the connection. Now what I'll do now, I'll add one more cloud guys here, and I'll give the name to this cloud as internet cloud. I'll add one more cloud. Let me just, or like one cloud should be fine, because I will get the internet from this cloud. You can think like this is my ISP connection 1 and this is my ISP connection 2. Now in this Palo Alto firewall, what we need to do, if you want to enable the HA, you need to connect the interfaces directly like this: Ethernet 1x5, Ethernet 1x6, 1x7. Now let's see if you have 8 interface is not available. We just have 3 interfaces. So what I will just go with HA1 and HA backup I will not configure. I will just go with HA1 and HA2 interface. That's it. Ethernet 1x5, 1x6. If you want like more interfaces, you can increase more here. You can put 16. That's not a problem. You can go here and you can put 16. See, now we get some extra interface here. So HA1 backup and HA2 backup as well. Right now what we need to do, because we also need to take the management access of these particular routers. So what I'll always use my network card, which is management cloud, and I'll give this name to this cloud is VMnet 8, and I want this type of, I want two clouds like the similar ones. Sorry, management bmnet 08. Edit bmnet 08. And what you can do, if you want, you can basically put this network here. Okay, and what you can make a duplicate, or like one more you can put here. What I'll always recommend, I will put here. Let me connect the management interface of this firewall with this cloud, and management interface of this firewall with this cloud. If I can put here like that, whatever suits you, you can put like that as well. Let me put in this way. Or the best part, what I can do, let me just delete this one. I will put one here. Let me give the name here like mgmt01 vmnet 08. This is my vmnet network adapter 08. I'll add one more adapter with this management option, and I'll give the name mgmt firewall 01, and at the starting I'll put vmnet 08. This is for firewall 1, and this is for firewall 2. So I can just rename this, and I'll just put firewall 2. Firewall 2 here. And firewall 1 here. Right, this is how we have to build the lab. That's how we have to build the lab and for your Palo Alto firewall. Let me just put all the things in this way. And our lab is completed. Now what you can do, if you want to add the shape and other things, right, what you can do, you can just go here, you can click on custom shapes. What I want dashed, let's say circle, square, I want a square. Bandwidth, let's say I want the size of the border is 10, and border color, let's say I want to use green. Now you can see this is created. Now you can go and you can put here. This is my inside network. This is my inside network. We can put like this. You can add another one. Not picture. I want shape here. dashed 10, and this time I want, let's suppose, blue color. This will be my DMZ network. If you want to increase size, you can do that as well. That's not a big deal. Right? If you want to, let's say we just have one test PC, you can add one more test PC, right? Depends on how much resources you are having. Let's suppose you want to add one Linux machine, not Windows. You can go into this Linux. Which Linux you? I always recommend you can use TinyCore Linux and give around 2048 MB of RAM. Always change the size, change this thing, and you can able to see some good icon for this. You can put like Linux PNG, or I always recommend you can use laptop PNG. This is my laptop. Give the name test PC02. Connect here. Right? This is done. Now what we can do? We can add here one more shape. Let's suppose this time I want circle. Dashed circle by 10, and let's suppose color I want 255, 255. Let's say I want this yellow color, or 128. You can go in this way. Let's say I want this color, and let's say I want to put this color into my management network. So like that we can able to set the things. This is my management. You can duplicate the same thing and you can put here. This is my management network, right? There are the multiple ways you can able to achieve the same thing, guys. Now let's go here. Now let me add one more shape. Let's say this time I want red. I want dashed. Size is 10. And this red thing, what I want to put here towards the internet. This is my internet area. So like that we can do. If you want, you can add some more safe here, right? You can add solid, and let's suppose size is 20. Border, you can use the color like 255 here and 255 here. 255 here, then 0 here. This pink one, right? And you can put this color here, like this is my it will denotes your firewall, right? This is your firewall layer. Now if you want to define your network and other thing, you can define the text. Let's suppose you have a subnet like 10.1. 1.0/24. You can use bold. Which color? I want to use green. Font size, you can put like 20, right? You can increase the size here as well. That's how this is the subnet you want here in this particular segment, right? On this, like on this interface and this interface, you want IP address on this segment. This is your inside network. And duplicate. Let's suppose you have separate network here. 10.1.1.10.1.2.0. Then let's suppose you have a separate network here as well. 10.1.3.0. Right? In similar way, let me just do one small thing here. This is the network which I'm using here. This is the network which I'm using here. And this is the network which I'm using here. Okay, now I'll go and I'll just create a duplicate. And what I will, let's suppose you want to edit this. You can put like 10.2.2.0. Click on edit as well. Change the color. Let's suppose I want blue color. And you can put this network I want here. Now you have a three routers here. Maybe you want, let's suppose 10.2 dot maybe 1.0. 3.0 and 4.0. We are done with this particular segment, right? Or you can just make some more changes. You can put like 10.1.0.0 subnet here, right? Whatever you want. Why I'm using this 10.2.2.0 series here? Because if I want to connect my external VMs, right, that I will show you in future. So that is the reason I'm using this, right? Here you can define what subnet you want to use. Let me just add one more text here, right? 151.7.0/24. Size is 20. Font is bold and color is red. That's about this series I want here on this segment. And here, let's suppose in this segment, I want 160 series, because here I have to keep the public IPs. And in this segment, what guys, you have to basically use the series whatever you are getting from your home Wi-Fi. Okay, here you have to put the home Wi-Fi series. So guys, that's how we used to create the lab in your Eve NG. This is the simple lab which I have created for Palo Alto firewall. We have seen, right? Now if you want to start all these nodes, you can go into this more action. You can start all nodes, you can stop all nodes, you can wipe all nodes, you take the console of all nodes. But guys, I highly recommend when you are doing, you can start one by one, like start this, then it's become sticky basically sometime. Let me refresh. Start this, start this, start this, start this, start this, right? You can start your particular, all your nodes, all your devices here. One more device I forgot to add you. Let's suppose I want to add some of the attacker PC from where I can launch the attack, right? I can use the Kali Linux machine there. And I'll use the image of Kali Linux because we have a dedicated image for Kali Linux. And I can put Kali Linux machine here. From this machine, I can launch my live attacks on the network. So guys, that's how we have to basically use our lab. This is the way, or this is how we can able to create the lab in your Palo Alto. This is how we can able to create the lab for Palo Alto firewall, guys. It's very easy. See, it is booting up properly. You can start this. Boot will start for this as well. You can start these routers. These are the small routers. You can take the access, right? See, you can start the Palo Alto. You can start these routers. You can start Kali Linux. See, I have started my entire lab right now. You can start these core switches as well. See, my lab is up and running. If you want to check the, click on status, you can able to check the status. Right now it is like 100% CPU, memory is 9%, but this CPU will reduce in some time because just now we have started all the nodes, right? So from here we can able to track our resource status. If you want to basically change the color, you can basically go with dark mode as well. See, they say here the dark mode. See, I got the access. Okay, now let me just stop all these nodes. So guys, this is how we have to build the Palo Alto firewall lab in EVE-NG. Guys, this is the one of the journal lab which I have built. Just wanted to show you how you can build your labs. You don't need to rely on the trainer, right? So trainer can share these pre-built topologies with you, right? You also need to learn how you can able to build these labs and all, right? So this is the one of these lab which I have built for you. Okay, we can also like customize these things, okay, because you know this lab will take lots of RAM and lots of CPUs. That is the reason basically I have created this particular lab for some of the tests, right? This particular lab for some of the tests, right? So we can able to build all these type of topologies basically now in EVE-NG. Now guys, so we have completed the Palo Alto Firewall Lab building, how to build the Palo Alto Lab in EVE-NG. So guys, this particular lecture, let me just stop here. And in next lecture, we will see one more lab setup for other firewall, maybe Checkpoint or maybe Fortigate, right? And guys, if you want to basically see how you can build the entire SD-WAN lab. I have a dedicated series, Cisco SD-WAN lab setup. In this series, basically, I have covered everything. How to create SD-WAN lab topology in EVNG, how to create SD-WAN lab topology in EVNG, right? In this particular videos, I have covered all of them. How we can build the lab from scratch, right? This is a very, very helpful video, guys, if you want to build the SD-WAN related labs. So I'll highly recommend you can refer this video, okay? For that, because SD-WAN lab I will not show you how to build because video is already there on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining me today. And please subscribe my YouTube channel. Take care. Bye.